Hey, Dr. Shulkin, again, thank you for all your good work, strongly supportive of that, what you're attempting to do. I want to speak now as a physician who's worked in the transplant field, and we had this conversation a little bit a day or so ago. I'm concerned regarding the access by veterans to transplantation services, as well as, frankly, the quality of transplant services that they're having access to. The importance, just for those who may not be familiar with transplant services, if you get transplanted, you have a higher quality of life, you're more likely to live longer, and it costs the taxpayer less money. There are problems, though. Let me just use the example of kidney transplantation. If you're transplanted at a VA facility, you have a lower rate of survival relative to being transplanted outside the VA. The VA transplant systems, I'm sure related to this, have a lower volume. Will you give me my first chart, please? I mention volume because, as we both know, the higher the volume, the more likely someone survives. This is over a 2-year period. Here is where the VA, where somebody from New Orleans would be referred to for transplant. Over 2 years, these have 40, whereas Ochsner, which is in the city, has 276. More volume, better outcomes, clearly established. Secondly, aside from worse outcomes, as an example of worse outcomes, there's a 20% higher rate of organ graft failure if you get it within the VA as opposed to the non-VA. Now, the VA has submitted testimony. I'm sorry, I should also mention that VA patients have a longer wait time with a lower rate of referral. And so, do you have a chart too, please? So if this is somebody with private insurance, this is the rate of referral. And if somebody within the VA, that is their rate of referral. So there's also a problem relative to vets not getting referred for transplantation. I will note that the studies say that if the veteran has private insurance along with VA coverage, they have a rate of referral that looks like this, not like that. And then I think that's where I come up with my third chart. I've messed up my assistant. And that is the one which shows that if you do get transplanted with the VA, you have a higher risk of the transplanted organ failing. So we've just got problems. Now, we've submitted an amendment that would allow the veteran to get transplanted with referral at a center closer to their home where they could get, say if they're in New Orleans, a better quality transplant. The VA has submitted testimony, not yet heard, but opposing my amendment allowing veterans to seek care at a higher volume, higher quality facility. We've actually requested a briefing from the VA on February the 7th as to why they would oppose this, and frankly, we've not heard back from the VA. We've asked them, and they've still not heard back. We're pinging, not hearing back. So we got a problem. When you first, I think the first meeting I heard you speak at as an assistant secretary, you said the VA should be about the veteran, not about the bureaucracy. Frankly, when we're not allowing veterans to stay close to home and have a higher quality, more likely to live experience, how do we defend that if the veteran is a priority? Your thoughts?
First of all, Senator Cassidy, I greatly respect not only your expertise, but exactly the position that you're taking, which is our job is to do the best thing for the veteran. And if your data is correct, you and I are going to be working together on this thing.
Now, this is all peer-reviewed from the academic literature, and I have the whole stack here in my notebook.
So what I'd like to do is to exchange information, and you may have some information that I don't have. The information that I have, which is, and I brought the same thing for you, is a thorough review of the literature that's taken a look at information that shows that there really are not outcome differences between VA and non-VA patients in terms of graft survival.
Subgroup that was true for African Americans, but if you take all comers, not just African Americans, there was a statistically significant difference.
Okay. Well, again, we're probably looking at some different studies. I think we can quickly get to the right data analysis. The studies that I have do show the concern that you expressed about a delay in graft access to organs, wait times, and so that's a concern. I'd be glad to work with you. We want to get to the right answer. We want veterans to get the highest quality care, no doubt about that.
Now, we have asked for a briefing from VA Transplant Services 6 weeks ago and still have not heard back. Is that correct?
Well, first I've heard of it, but I can assure with you we're going to get that for you, and if I need to come to that directly, I will. And, you know, I have from them their fiscal year Q1 18 transplant report with all their volumes and outcomes. So I think together we can get to the best solution here.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
Then I thank you. I yield back.